of Kiwi Farms is going to watch this video, I have a couple of words for Joshua Moon. Joshua, you are complicit in making multiple people commit. You have made enemies everywhere. The legacy you are going to leave behind in this world is one of creating and operating a platform that for nearly a decade has tormented humans.
The difference between a good pizza joke and a bad pizza joke depends totally on who is delivering it and who it's delivered to. Please, as always, no bully, hate, false flag, or harassment. That shit is... So you might be asking yourself, how do we get here? Well, at this stage of the dimensional merge, for some reason, we have leftist Twitch streamer, Keffals, targeting poor little Kiwi farms for hating, harassing, and doxing. So let's cover some ground first. Who the fuck is Keffals? Okay, Keffals, or Clara Sorrenti, is a 28-year-old Canadian male-to-female transgender Twitch streamer and activist. Now, since she's an internet activist, that means that she relies heavily on ratioing people that disagree with her hot takes and get them cancelled in the court of public opinion on Twitter specifically. So no right-winger or TERF can survive her devout audience's power to smash that like button. And unfortunately, this has never translated into any real-world change, but Keffals doesn't take any L's, so therefore online world and its internet people must be treated exactly like it is the real world. In other words, for Keffals, posting mean things online is actually really physical violence. And Keffals is the type of person who would speak with the demeanor and seriousness of a politician and somebody with an impactful platform, but she would be talking about pizza deliveries and tweets in that tone. So, I mean... Kiwi Farms, on the other hand, is basically the yin to Keffals' yang. For the level of seriousness that Keffals puts into and onto the internet, Kiwi Farms does the exact opposite and will laugh at absolutely anything and anybody. It is known to be the big bully, doxer, mean, harassing website that is near impossible to find if you don't know exactly what you're looking for already. And this website was created in 2013 and is run by Joshua Moon, or Null. And he also hosts these weekly podcasts called Mad at the Internet, or Maddie. I particularly enjoy them. I do recommend them. They are about funny people doing funny things related to the forum, if you're into lolcowdom and all that. And the purpose of this forum really is to archive everything to the fullest extent. That means that if you did something stupid online, that people will probably find it and they will call you names and laugh about it. However, visiting the website is a choice. That does not mean that there aren't malicious players in this game and people who primarily use the site only to gossip and further slander and speculate on people's lives and how they do it. But it should be said that the purpose is to archive, and a lot of material that I even use in my videos I find from the website, and I try to always remember to give credit where it's due. Now, if you're a combination of thin-skinned but narcissistic, then chances are that you do look up your own name in these types of gossip sites and then hurt your own feelings, and then this is considered a hate crime and something that happened to you, not something that you did to yourself. So consequently, there's a bunch of big, fat, thin-skinned, narcissistic losers that really do hate the people on the website, but they don't distinguish between the people posting versus the website itself. Therefore, it should all be banished and it should all be gone. And by extension, a lot of people will say that every single post made on Kiwi Farms is the personal belief and views of Joshua Moon, or Null, and therefore he is responsible for every single thing that every other person on the website chooses to engage with. Now, it should be noted that it is blatantly, clearly part of their TOS that you are not allowed to commit or plan any illegal activities on the forum, so there's no planning of people to attack or harass somebody specifically on any other website. But that doesn't mean that there are not a lot of people who use the information gathered by the Kiwi Farms in order to perform their own vigilante justice, because they're just total fags. So in this episode of the Dimensional Merge, we are seeing an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, and the collision is fucking beautiful, but most importantly, it's entertaining as all shit. So, how did we get here? This is the story of Kiwi Farms versus Keffals. Our terminally online boss babe, queen of the ratio, is hands down the reason for this fucking glorious entertainment we are experiencing. So, Keffals is a deeply unlikable person. Nobody likes Keffals and Keffals likes nobody, which means that Keffals cannot win anybody over with being pleasant or interesting or fun or even entertaining. So instead, Keffals has to get W's by ratioing people and moral fagging, which for those uninitiated, it just means that Keffals likes to tell us why she's better than us and why we should feel bad about ourselves. So the best way that you can evoke shame into somebody in modern current era is to ratio them online, right? Because if you get ratioed, then you are bullied into shame and you have to either delete your tweet and confess your sins and write a tweet longer, or you have to leave your platform. So this usually works with the more insecure, fragile type of person. It doesn't really work with adults that well. But anyway, Keffals uses this tactic a lot. And this means that now Keffals is winning the audience and getting all the W's in the ratio, but has no friends online. And a peak that was reached was when Keffals managed to ratio another streamer called Destiny. And essentially the TLDR on that situation is that Destiny opened this massive can of worms by being the first to expose that Keffals and their friend are running a website in which they use in order to instruct minors, allegedly, on how to get HRT or hormone replacement therapy in a way that they can hide it from their parents and, basically change biological stuff about themselves before they're fully developed. So, I mean, that's considered not that great for most people. I don't know. Either way, Destiny was against this. So Keffals decided to ratio Destiny, and then he lost his platform fighting Keffals. He lost his Twitch platform. So Keffals took credit for that. I mean, fuck it, who cares? So this back and forth was pretty eventful, and that led to like a flood of new people joining Kiwi Farms and adding to the lore of Keffals, because this was amazing. We've never seen this before. We've never seen somebody be so proud and boastful about taking somebody's career and platform away from them, literally because they have a different take than you, right? It's not like either of them are actual politicians in with actual power, right? They don't. They're just streamers. So this is pretty fucking severe and not a good way to make friends online. It was so much information on Kiwi Farms at this point that Null decided on the 1st of July to make an almost 3-hour live stream entirely dedicated to the lore of fucking Keffals, and it was a good watch. I would definitely recommend it. And what I will say is that Keffals fucking DMCA struck this video for 1 minute and 30 seconds of dead air. The irony was, in this part, was Null was trying to show us how fucking boring a Keffals stream is by showing basically over a minute of just dead air in a Keffals stream, and Keffals claimed that. Copyright struck, got the whole thing taken down. Don't worry, there are archives available. If you look, you can find them. And this basically proved to us that while Keffals does not only look up hate about themselves, but they're truly such a fucking boring ass person, and they will literally abuse the copyright system. Remember, it's copyright means that somebody stole your intellectual property and didn't transform it or comment it or anything, and it was 3 hours long, so clearly a violation of that system. However, this made the Kiwi farmers big mad because people like watching that podcast, and it was gone. And it was gone in a genuinely morally and ethically incorrect way. This is not similar to the Destiny system. This is not how we typically approach people that we dislike or disagree or that say mean things on the interwebs. However, there is a saying, don't feed the trolls. Do not tell the trolls what upset you. Do not give them that information. Do not give them that ammunition. Otherwise, you're going to be big sad, but even harder. So that means that Keffals' bland-ish Kiwi Farms thread escalated. It exploded. Everybody wanted in. Everybody was memeing this. Everybody was so angry and devoted to catch up on the Keffals lore. Okay, but the problem is that Kiwi Farms didn't immediately close down the website after the DMCA strike, so Keffals had to up the game. So on 19 July, she dropped a fucking manifesto, 7 hours, would not recommend. This absolute tear-jerker and boredom manifester, she basically furthers attempt to slander Destiny in order to win over his audience and ultimately get the biggest ratio of them all. And in essence, that means that she had to use or look at Kiwi Farms in order to confirm that Destiny is the reason that she had been receiving so much hate, that she got doxxed, that all these terrible things have happened to her. Now note that Destiny never doxed her, and he didn't share her dox, he didn't post it, he didn't tell people about it. He just has a Kiwi Farms account, and he was spotted posting in the thread. Arrested! This thread has over 1,200 fucking pages, which means at this point in time, if Keffals tells you that something is said and done in this thread, who is going to read it to prove her wrong? Who's going to go through it and be like, oh yeah, I verified it was actually user nickvag who posted it. It was not a Destiny. So therefore, nobody, right? So whatever Keffals is saying totally fucking works with her audience. You don't need a bunch of information surrounding it. But okay, so she claims that he participated in her docs and therefore is somehow the reason for her dox. So the logic is basically that if you have a Kiwi Farms account, then you have committed a doxing hate crime against Keffals specifically. The logic doesn't matter though, because nobody's gonna read it. Her audience is a bunch of minors and Destiny haters, so of course the logic is perfectly sound. In the stream, Keffals mainly wanted to show that Kiwi Farms is the anti-trans community and that it's actually Destiny's the mastermind behind all of this. This bold strategy completely paid off. People bought it hook, line and sinker, and Kiwi Farms is the reason for people killing themselves all the time, and it is essentially a website that somehow contacts you to tell you you have to go look at hate about yourself. And Destiny is also the reason for all of this, but so is Joshua Moon, since Destiny moved a bit in the background. The funniest thing that came out of this stream is that prior to it even being aired, she got a Twitch ban because she had literally the F slur on her fucking thumbnail on a Twitch stream and didn't somehow think that that would have any implications. But alas, the good news had to come to an end and unsuspension was due. Now, another actual implication of this stream was that Keffals officially stated that she is at war with Kiwi Farms and Joshua Moon specifically. And unfortunately, declaring war on a website and a person that is not on Twitter means that you can't actually ratio them. In other words, all of Keffals' known form of activism is futile in this instance. So, therefore, in response to people posting mean, secluded, transphobic hate comments on a whole ass different website, Keffals decided to start smearing the Kiwi Farms on Twitter by listing all of their Wikipedia hate crimes. Now, a lot of these stuff is actually factually incorrect, since the source for this information or the crimes of Kiwi Farms is actually a whole ass different other gossip forum, Encyclopedia Dramatica, who has literally direct competition and beef with Kiwi Farms. So, I mean, okay, look, this is not a Kiwi Farms is innocent video, and quite frankly, better people have said worse things about the forums. They can cope, they can deal. The only meaningful result in all of this is that they are attempting to close down the forum by ratioing the companies that make its existence possible. Now, in principle, this should send some alarm bells to everyone, because it's literally an attempt to bully a third party into deplatforming your haters and critics, and it's only possible when you have the mainstream take. I haven't seen a single troll try to get pharmaceutical companies to ban Keffals with any type of traction, despite many people having legitimate concerns about Keffals and HRT distribution. On the 9th of August, we were all hit in the face with this video titled, "My life is in danger, I need your help."
On August 5th, I was woken up by London police services pointing an assault rifle in my face.
Keffals posted this video claiming that she was swatted by the Canadian police at her home after somebody sent out fake emails to every city council member of London, Ontario, claiming that Keffals had killed her mother with an illegal firearm, that she planned to go to City Hall and kill every cisgender person that she sees. Now, in her video, she states that I was woken up by the police pointing an assault rifle in my face. This is her own words. However, in an interview with the press, Keffals retells the story, saying that she went into the hallway and saw the assault rifle.
When I went into the hallway and then saw that assault rifle, I screamed, and I thought I was going to die. Like, I thought that me screaming would make them flinch and pull the trigger.
The logical conclusion here is not that Keffals was not swatted, but the conclusion here is that it seems from the outset like Keffals is trying to hype up what really happened, trying to reframe the story in a way that makes it extra spicy. So Keffals has had it much worse than everybody else, claiming it's because the police is transphobic. And Keffals decided to tell us about this successful doxing and swatting, and decided that in retaliation to this terrible hate crime committed by her state, that she is going to make a fundraiser in order to sue the police.
For being the victim of a hate crime. I need your help because I can't do this alone. I started a GoFundMe to move immediately, recoup my losses, and build a legal fund to protect my rights.
Now, obviously, police officials using legal documentation to call you by your date name is literally the worst thing that could happen to anybody. I do believe that swatting actually is terrifying and terrible, and it shouldn't happen. Once again, Keffals was told by a bunch of people that it would be in her best interest to not confirm her docs or, feed the trolls again, because that's literally how people figured out where she was, and the fact that she confirmed her docs meant that people now knew exactly where she and her mother and her fiance live. So that means that Keffals had to up and leave, and we got this video from some random ass location, undisclosed. We didn't know what's going on, and you know what, Keffals decided not to leave it at that. Instead, she posted a picture of her cat taunting the Kiwi farmers, saying that there's no way that she will be doxxed again because she's smarter and wiser than everybody else on the internet. So in turn, in retaliation, the Kiwi farmers looked at this photo and cross-referenced the bed sheets of all the hotels in the local area, and then found her and sent 5 fucking pizzas to her hotel room by her dead name.
Talk about this. There was a new update in the theater of the Keffals drama, because Keffals got swatted by the Canadian police, and by swatted I mean the armed police showed up at their home and said knock knock, and Keffals said hello, and the police said hello, we have a search warrant, ooh, and then they said we're going to execute this now, and then Keffals alleged that they broke into their house and then held a gun at their face and took their devices and called them a tranny, a disgusting tranny, and that got printed to the media, and so on and so forth. But the update is that a brave Kiwi Farms user has identified what hotel they went to, because they did the grift thing. They said, please send money to me. I want money because I love money. And then, as a result, they made $90,000, and they went to a hotel room to say, like, look, I'm so scared I'm living in a hotel room. And while in the hotel room, they posted a picture of their cat on bed sheets, and the bed sheets had a distinct pattern to them. So somebody pulled open the hotels.com or booking.com page and went through all the hotels on the first page and said, this one looks like it has the same bed sheets, so I bet you that they are there. And sure enough, somebody ordered a pizza. Who it was is not on the forum because they didn't post about it. And the pizza went to the hotel room, and Keffals said, I am now afraid for my life, and I am in hiding. So they issued a fatwa on the Kiwi Farms. They published a new video saying that they're in fear for their life, and they can't post anything. They have to use a green screen because if they show any of their surroundings, the Kiwi Farms will find them and intimidate them with pizzas addressed to their dead name.
Me when I'm explaining calories to noobs.
Obviously, it isn't the pizzas that are the problem, but it's the threat that they make.
Listen, if I'm getting free pizza, you can call me whatever the fuck you want. But in retaliation, Keffals decided to do some activism by ratioing the web hosting server Cloudflare, which is silly, because Cloudflare isn't the reason that Kiwi Farms is online. It literally just protects the website from DDoS attacks. But since ratioing obviously won't work, Keffals garnered the cat boys and decided to conquer her fear of exercise by organizing a protest in front of the Cloudflare offices. Now, doing an IRL protest is a bold and dangerous move for people of fatness. I don't know how long this trooper can go. But it's important to note once again that this website has committed the unforgivable crime of saying mean things about the silly stuff that Keffals has put on the internet herself. So as we have just established, that pizza is a well-known hate crime and act of violence against the transgender community. So Keffals promptly moved again after this heinous attack and dropped this fucking banger video on the 18th of August. Notice the green screen and imagine all the potentials. She made the choice to film in front of a fucking green screen, and God blessed us with some of the most amazing memes.
I have a couple of words for Joshua Moon. Joshua, you are complicit in making multiple people commit suicide. You have made enemies everywhere. The legacy you are going to leave behind in this world is one of creating and operating a platform that for nearly a decade has tormented countless people. One day, you are going to get sloppy, and your entire life is going to collapse like a house of cards. I want you all to know that I never plan to back down. I am never going to go away. I am going to continue fighting. Like I said in—
But what is that? Oh no, dead name pizza delivery bros. Ethan Ralph in this dimensional merge has decided to join Keffals in the battle of Jim's driveway, so that collectively the most thin-skinned people on the internet could use their weak will and lack of coordination to end the A-logs from their cyber stalking, bullying, hate, harassment, and doxing. Now, the main difference between Ethan Ralph and Keffals in this situation is that they have some political differences. For example, Ethan Ralph totally would have smashed all 5 of those fucking pizzas. Now at this moment in time, Keffals is somewhere in the world, in front of a green screen, telling us about how Joshua Moon is coping, seething, and molding. And on the opposite end, the Kiwi farmers have been really busy making some fan art out of Keffals' little fucking avatar icon thing called a Wiggler. And these are some of the designs. I'm just gonna let them play in the background. Some of these are absolute fucking bangers. And they're so cute, and anybody can actually make an account and make one of these. I don't know if I have it in me, but they're fucking fantastic to look at. So look, while these play in the background, let me just explain again some shit about Kiwi Farms. It's a place, it's not a person. Meaning that if you have a Twitter account, are you responsible for everything that happens on Twitter? Are you responsible for all the pornographic stuff, all the doxing that happens? Would you claim that? Or do you think that it's those people specifically who do it, who engage in it? The same goes with Kiwi Farms as well. There are people there that are absolutely fucking terrible, and there are people there that are stunning and brave. And you know, you gotta remember that they aren't the same fucking person. And that is okay. Secondly, that website is primarily for archival purposes, at least from my end, and for a lot of creators. So by it existing means that there is some archive out there that doesn't have to bend to the will of any specific government, legislation, or corporation in terms of what is brand friendly and what is not. So if something heinous and vile happened, and we want it to survive because it's such an important historical moment, then chances are it won't survive on mainstream websites. And it's important to have a place where something like that can be archived, and you don't have to really worry, unless it's illegal material like CP or whatever, it will remain there. And that's pretty fucking important. So I checked with my audience in this specific saga of the dimensional merge. Whose side are we on here? What are we gonna vote here? And some of you are, well, you're exercising your right to be autistic on the internet, and therefore I will allow it. But I am side-eyeing some of you, I'll say that. I just want to know what Keffals' final plan here is. She's treating Kiwi Farms like it's the final boss of transphobia, but it's literally just one website. There's more. Is Keffals gonna take Kiwi Farms to the court? Is she gonna try and show the judge where the pizza touched her? I don't know, maybe I'm just fucking retarded. Like, I'm a woman and I'm South African, so there's literally only so much that I can comprehend. So fuck it, I'm just a thought with an opinion, and at the very least I know that I should not be feeding the trolls. Pile. I could have died because the website Kiwi Farms is a customer your company takes money from. You locked your replies instead of listening to all the people who are scared and want to take action. Please do the right thing. Please drop them. You could literally save lives.